How goes the family? Welcome back to Let Everything Goes. Hopefully you guys are having an awesome Saturday. Today's discussion is going to be talking about these two young men, fine men right here. Basically, their business is called Two Bros in the Kitchen. And, once again, I love to read stories about this. I read this article yesterday, and I was like, I definitely got to make a video about these two young guys doing great things. These two young men, Nigel and Shane Mushambi, who are 12 and 13 years old, from Missouri City, Texas, which is a suburb outside of Houston, Texas, one of my favorite cities, have created a successful business. Now, if you know anything about my platform, Let Anything Goes, it's all about independent entrepreneurship, thinking and living outside of the box, and so on. It's easy to just have a job like it's 1985, but it's hard to have a job, and work on a business, go to school, all at the same time, family. Most people that are doing this, they know what I'm talking about. Holla if you hear me. So, an article like this displays how more of our young people need to have an entrepreneur ownership mentality and not just an employee mentality. So many people just are, especially within the African American community, are just used to just saying, hey, I'm going to go to school, go to college, get a job, and that's all she wrote. Hopefully my 401k or pension and Social Security is going to take care of me outside of that. Go on vacation every now and then. I'm just going to do the norm. But these two young men, they decided to put their creative minds into the kitchen after winning a couple of local baking competitions 3 years in a row. So adding that in there 3 years in a row, I guess the light bulb went off in their minds. And one of the most awesome things that the Two Bros in the Kitchen company does is that they donate parts of their proceeds to multiple charities. And that's really, at the end of the day, what it's all about. Family, when you're doing good things, do your best to give back to your community. Because when you take care of your community, for the most part, depending on the community that you reside in, they'll take care of you. And the two brothers also stated that they love giving back to their community because the community has given back to them in many, many ways. The organizations that they actually have given back to is called Fort Bend Cares and JB Dandolo Foundation, which are organizations that are trying to help rebuild hospitals throughout the African continent. So I think that's awesome as well. Another great thing is that the two brothers have donated hundreds of meals and toys to homeless shelters throughout the Houston, Texas area. So another thing is that they are great at and they love engaging in is math and science. And actually the science and mathematics of cooking is what intrigued them into baking custom cakes, cupcakes, anything in regards to any sort of pastries, you name it, they do it. Okay, and here's obviously pictures of them and their business displays. Very proud of these two young men. Hopefully I get them into the business the next time I'm in Houston, Texas, and I'll even though I'm not a fan of sweets, I'll definitely sample one and see how good it is, and maybe I'll bring it home to other people that might like it, because I'm not a big fan of sweets, but hey, a lot of people are, and obviously they're doing a great thing. So more power to you guys. 2 thumbs up from me. Peace sign from me. Keep up the good work, young guys. That's all I can say. Very proud of you. So that's a beautiful thing at the end of the day. And another thing is that they're taking, and this is another thing that was like, wow, caught my eye when I was reading this article. They are taking math and science courses at their local community college, receiving college credit before they even reach high school. Okay, that says a lot in my personal opinion. Okay, so while other kids are in the house playing around, they spend about 15 to 20 hours a week baking and taking orders from their customers. Okay, and for their customers. So you have to give credit where credit is due, given the fact that these two young men are working a successful business before they are old enough to even obtain a job. And really listen to that. They are maintaining a successful business without even not being old enough to have a job. Okay, so the idea of having a job now is just non-existent for the most part. They're actually, they have actually created a platform to where they don't need to have a job. And a lot of young people are doing this because there's even studies stating that most young folks nowadays don't want to have a job when they get out of high school. That's like the last thing on their mind that they want. They want ownership. So I think that is awesome. These experiences are teaching them responsibility and also showing them that the benefits of owning your own piece of the American dream. And that's what it's all about, ownership, a business. These two great young men have also created and had a book published recently, so you should check it out. The book is actually called Beyond the Kitchen: How to Cook Up Success with Life's Mistakes, which basically entails about their whole experiences as young entrepreneurs in today's day and age. And they also talk about the failures that they encountered when they first started their business. And that's what it is. You're gonna always encounter failures. That's how you learn. One of the young men stated, and I quote, "No matter what situations you may be encountered in business, never be afraid to fail." And a lot of us are afraid to fail at times. But I say, the only way to really learn something is to fail. You can read something all day, you can listen to all the YouTube videos at the end of the day, but if you're not physically doing something, then it means nothing. Okay, if you're afraid to fail, then don't even worry about trying. That's just how it is. I'm not a sports fan, but if you look at all the sports players, they failed at something before they became who they are. Steph Curry, the list goes on and on. Okay, LeBron James, they weren't all Michael Jordan, they weren't the best. Magic Johnson, they weren't the best of the best, but it was called practice and repetition and consistency and dedication and discipline. The list goes on and on. So I couldn't agree more. When we embark on new situations in life, failure is inevitable. But how we learn from that failure is what makes us bigger, stronger, and with that being said, last a whole lot longer. Which I think this is awesome as well, because these young men wrote this book to inspire other young people to go after their dreams, not just the dreams that their parents actually had for them. So what doesn't kill us makes us stronger, family. So we all can say that all I can say is that I'm proud of these young men. Keep up the good work, Nigel and Shane Mushambi. When I was their age, I was busy playing sports and having crushes on girls back then in those adolescent days. So I will definitely, and that's the cover of the book. So if you look the book up on Amazon or any other platform, I'm sure that this is the cover of the book. So just to know that you're purchasing the right book. So, but I just think it's awesome. This whole situation, and the generation of people, in closing, the generation of people being raised to just be good employees is somewhat over. And these great young men are changing the game. They are learning from their Rich Dad and Poor Dad, in a sense, to quote the Rich Dad, Poor Dad book by Robert Kiyosaki, in a way. They are learning how to educate themselves from an academic education and a real life business education. Because real life experience is the best experience in education that one can get, no matter what platform or business or level that they're trying to reach. So for all of you out there thinking about giving up on your dream, I say continue to fight for what you believe in. The dream must live on, and if your dreams really mean something to you, no matter how impossible they may seem, I say continue to go on and go forward and fight for what you believe in and the kind of lifestyle that you want to live. So on that note, remember, you can't get fired if you own the company. I hope you have a great day. Keep fighting for those dreams. Do great things in your life and never give up. Please subscribe and please share my video at your earliest convenience. Take care.